Yes, and we're back. It's the end of 2021. It is the final show of 2021. And I am your host. It is the Goat Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Heaven Hollywood, aka Goat Heaven. And as usual, by my side, can't do the Goat Talk Podcast with just one goat. Go to Lexus, as usual, in the building. Go to Lexus. How are you today?
I'm feeling so good having good morning.
It's good morning and happy New Year. If just in case you're too tore up at on midnight, you know, uh, midnight January 1st. so
Ooh,
be have a safe and happy New Year, and of course, 2021 flew by, didn't it?
it did. It went by too quick. I don't even remember what happened this year other than all the warnings from the COVID
Right,
vaccines and stuff like that. That's been a highlight of the entire year.
of
So
the year. It's like I can't think back and like what was a great moment. Like I can't remember a really great moment in 2021 other than us coming together and starting the podcast. Other than that, it was,
that's only
2021. Yeah, the 2021 was really okay. It was a little better than 2020 as far as the COVID goes, but it's COVID's still here. We still got, more people got vaccinated and it really didn't seem to matter. So you still have to act according the same way, but we're going to get into some of these crazy topics and things that happen in the entertainment world. So you ready to tackle these?
let's get it.
All right. So 2021, was filled with, of course, a lot of celebrity stories, scandals, some great stories, some sad stories, and I think, of course, one of the biggest stories that happened towards the end of 2021, and it was a great redemption story, in my opinion, and that was Britney Spears after 13 years being freed from her conservatorship that she was under from her dad, for all of those years. And she came out because of the Free Britney movement. And I just want to give a quick shout out to, and I think these ladies go unnoticed. They were actually the first two who actually started the Free Britney hashtag, and they did it on their podcast, which is I actually was able to listen to that podcast, when it was happening. And back then, you didn't think there's nothing was going to become of it, but their name is Tess Barker and Barbara Gray. They do the Brittany Graham podcast, and they were the first ones to say, look into it and say something is wrong, and Brittany did thank them. She thanked the Free Britney movement for saving her life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to I think she should give them girls a bag. Tess Barker and Barbara Gray, if she hasn't already, which I'm not so sure she has. She hasn't really been in control of her, you know, um, finances. And even though the father, I knew it was big when the father tried to get it shut down. I remember the father tried to get that hashtag shut down. I said, "Oh, okay, so it's getting big." So, what's your take on Britney finally being freed after 13 years? And
Good for her.
2022, you think she can make a comeback?
Good for her. I think what she was under, I think that should be illegal. I don't care what state you are in your life. Nobody should ever have control over something that you worked hard for. She
Right.
couldn't even do small things. So it's not more so. Do I think she can make a comeback? The only comeback that I hope she makes is her mental health, because for normal people, they can have bad parents and they go through certain trauma in their life. That's different from having two parents who control you, who who watches every move you make, who tell you, hey, this is when you could get pregnant. Hey, this is when you could drive your car. Hey, you can't even drive your car. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
extreme. I thought this whole situation was odd. I thought it was extreme. This is a grown woman, and I
Right.
feel like they ruined her life. So I would prefer if she took her check, explored the world, go to different countries, learn about different religions, find who Britney Spears is, because for a long time she's always been known as somebody's daughter. And
Right.
that is just so wow to me that this was even something that was legally able to happen. So yeah, I don't care for her to make a musical return. I don't even think she cares. She just made it clear that she's not going to make any more music as a big fu to her parents. So
Mm,
I want her to make a recovery with her mental health because she's obviously still mentally unstable.
right.
But other than that, yeah, I don't think she'll make a comeback because she doesn't want to. She's always going to be talented. She's always going to be able to sing. That's always going to be a fact about Britney Spears. I just don't think she cares anymore. I think she's been worn out, and she just needs to experience what being free is, being like truthfully free.
Mm, I totally agree with you. I mean, and this is why we come together on this podcast because I always keep an open mind when I have you on the other side of the table, and I went into it thinking, hey, I want the kid she make a comeback in 2022, and not really. And I'll apologize to Britney Spears right now, not really taking into effect what she's been through over the last 13 years, and I think that is, was a main part of the issue. The only thing they wanted her to do is be a robot and make music, make music, make music, make music, so they could continue to live off of, you know, what she was doing. Like she was the ones she was actually paying people that she was working for. She was actually working for her father and paying him. I mean, so shout out to Britney. Shout out to the Free Britney movement. And, just going forward, man, I just really hope that she gets her mental health straight and all the money that she lost, what happened, if her streams pick back up, I think everyone just to, honor Britney. I think people. I don't care if you got it. Go and repurchase Britney's music. If you're a Britney Spears fan, I think that's the way you can pay her back. Repurchase her music,
Right.
that you have, because she lost a lot of money that she should not be losing. She should, her estate should be worth way more than some $80 million or 65 million, whatever it's down to, because of the father. So I want to shout Brittany out and wish her the best. Now, something that was not such great news in 2021 was the AstroWorld event, and it did result in 10 people and 10 deaths. If you don't know, Travis Scott is heads the AstroWorld. Uh, I would say I wouldn't say tour because it pretty much stays the same spot in Houston, but he does this annually, and there was I guess it was not, I wouldn't say rampage, but a stampede, of fans that started charging the stage. According to a lot of fans out there, people started pushing forward towards the stage, and there was a couple of misleading stories out there, but at the end of the day, 10 people end up losing their lives. A lot of them, from heart failure, some of them from being stampede over, anxiety, or what have you. And my question to you with that is, and once again, well, rest in peace, and we do send prayers out to all of the families that suffered from this tragedy. My question to you is, now that you sat with it for a while, do you think Travis is getting the right amount of blame? Because he's losing a lot of endorsements. He's lost a lot of endorsements and still losing them. So, do you think he got just enough blame, not enough blame, or too much blame? Now that you've had a chance to sit with it for a few months.
Um I think he gotten, I think it's enough at this point. I do want to speak on the Dior endorsement or whatever they had going on. It's not
Right.
shut down completely. They both came to an agreement that dropping it next year wouldn't be a good plan. So I do believe we'll still
Mm.
get that Dior and Travis Scott collab, just not next year.
Okay.
Um, and before, I say he had accountability and he's going to be coming out of pocket for this. And I'll still stand on that. But my initial opinion, it did kind of shift because at first I said, he should have equal blame and he's going to get sued. He's going to have to pay. And it is what it is. That was my opinion initially, right? But
Hmm.
now I believe after speaking to so many people, including a lawyer himself, he said, it was Live Nation's responsibility to hire the right ticket counters, to hire the right security. And
Right.
also, it was their accountability and responsibility to shut things down once they saw that it got out of control.
Okay.
So, Travis Scott being the artist and performing, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. It was on the event management to shut the lights off, to shut the mic off, to shut the speakers off and say, yo, this is getting too out of control.
Mm.
And at any point, they could have done so, and they did not. Yes, Travis Scott could have done that. He should have done that, but it wasn't his responsibility, meaning it wasn't his liability to do so because he hired people to do it for him. So when it comes to this lawsuit, legally, he will be at the bottom of the list, meaning he will bear minimum accountability in this lawsuit because he has so many people above him who should have done their job by shutting
Mm.
down a concert way before it got out of control. When the officers came out and said, hey, you guys are above capacity, they should have said, you're right. We're going to shut it down now. We're going to reschedule this. This happens all the time. You feel me?
Right.
This is not unknown for concerts to be rescheduled. But since that didn't happen, 8 innocent people lost their life and over 100 people were injured. And this is a night for a lot of people they won't be able to forget. So
That. Whew.
it shouldn't be Travis Scott here losing businesses. What I mean by that, it shouldn't only be him. It should also be Live Nation because what I also found disturbing is that to this day, Live Nation didn't, when something bad happens to your business, usually you'll put out a statement and say, hey, these are the changes we're going to make. These are the people
Right.
we hired. Live Nation didn't do any of that, and they're still hosting concerts. So, do I believe that's unfair? Yes. Do I think it matters? No, because there's a $10 billion lawsuit right now, and Live
Mm.
Nation is going to have to come out of pocket as well. So, I just really want to know what's going to happen with all of this because it really shouldn't fall completely on Travis Scott because it's not his fault they didn't stop the concert. It's not his fault that so many people snuck in and that they allowed it. It's not his fault. They could have, even if he did influence people to do it, it was on them to stop that. Rappers,
Right.
they influence crime, but do they let Cheek Keef perform in Chicago? No, because they have a feeling that if he does, there's going to be a lot of people injured or a death. So that's why they won't even allow him to perform in Chicago. And the
Mm.
baby, he tried performing in Miami and that got shut down. It's all about
Right.
safety and protocols. And it looks like Live Nation, I mean, yeah, it looks like Live Nation got no, what do you call it?
Heat.
No repercussions for what
Right.
happened. That
Repercussions.
and Travis Scott is the one who's getting all of it. And that shouldn't be the case here. That's my opinion now.
Yeah. I agree. I believe at the end of the day, I believe he is taking probably as much blame as he should take. But I would say I do believe that Live Nation isn't taking enough of the heat. Now maybe that will, of course, they're the ones with all the money, so of course they're gonna take the heat when it comes to these lawsuits. But I mean, publicly, um, Live Nation, and I think the venue, because they were allegedly responsible for doing, hiring the security, you know, and there were people that was working coming out saying, "Oh yeah, they pulled me off the street." There was no process. They was just like hiring people that was like, working as janitors or what have you, and they're just like, hey, you're big, you want to work security, so I think the lack of experience with people at security, as well as lack of accountability with the venue. So I do agree. I think he's taking enough blame, but I also think that Live Nation should take more blame than what they are taking. Um, but peace and love to everyone involved in being effective, and hopefully Travis will bounce back. Um, do we care? I mean, we have to go over it because it was one of the top stories of the year, and that is the Royals spilling royalty on Oprah Winfrey. Now, to me, this wasn't really a surprise because you can kind of see, even though I don't really follow them like that, the Royals, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the poor the poor black or half black princess that never gets a chance to be called Princess Megan. It's just
Right.
always like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It's so disrespectful. It's like when Obama was president. It's like Obama. Like it was never President Obama. It's
Right.
always Obama. Just like no respect. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't get into the Royals. I was into it when I was younger when it was Princess Diana. Since Princess Diana, I really haven't been into it. And any take on this, I know we just have to bring it up because there are some people interested in it. And just any take at all on the Royals, or do you not care like
Uh,
me?
I don't care because they're boring and they're blatant with the racism. It's blatant at this point,
Mm.
and I believe everything Princess Megan and her husband said when they sat down with Oprah. And after the Oprah interview, I stopped paying attention to the family like I wasn't doing it before it. So yeah, they're a boring family. I'd rather watch Ti and his family than their family. It's no royalty to me. I'm from America. We don't have kings and queens, so there's nothing for me to even care about to begin with. So that's my opinion.
But Alexis, it's hard on the Royals, boy. So, but
If they want to send me a
I'm not
gold
gonna lie.
crown, that's when I
Right,
would start bowing down to them. But I'm not from their country. I'm from America, and I just find it blatant that they're racist. It's blatant. Like just like what you said, they won't even
right.
call this woman princess. They don't even include her in Family Matters. And that bald headed dude, the one with the receiving hairline in the middle of his head, what's his name? Harry's brother. What's his name?
Oh.
It's
So
so
we
unfortunate
got
because he's really young and he got a
Harry's
head of an 80-year-old. Donald Trump got more hair than him. He's racist too. He
right,
didn't even take up for his brother,
right. So they're Princess Di's sons, right? So it's Harry and William.
William. Yes, Prince William.
Okay,
He's definitely not going to be the
okay.
king. You can do all that you want. You're not going to be the king. The dude ain't even going to die. The one that has to die for him to be king, he's trying his hardest not to even die. This man on his eighth life.
That's so wrong because you're only supposed to have four. And I
Right.
know because I had a daughter who rest in peace to my daughter Cindy. I had a daughter who was a heart transplant recipient, and they told us you're only allowed four heart transplants in a lifetime. And this dude is on like his 12th heart transplant. Like they just keep on reviving this fool.
They
But
out here stealing organs to keep this man alive. I don't care about this family.
it's the same. And now we have another entertainment story that I really didn't pay much attention to, but they have it down as one of the top stories, and we're not going to spend long on this. And that was, I guess, because of the times we're living in, as Demi Lovato comes out as non-binary, And me, I just think that Demi Lovato should come out with what she really wants to come out in, and that is a whore. Demi Lovato wants to be a whore. She wants to announce to everyone she's all, but she keeps on coming with these. Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, I'm gonna announce that I was raped. Oh, I'm gonna announce that I'm a drug user recovery. Oh, I'm gonna announce that I'm non-binary. Demi Lovato, if you saw that documentary, she pretty much confessed to um allowing herself to sleep with her assailant, her rapist. She told in the documentary that she went back to the person who raped her and to take control, to feel as though she took control back. She slept with him again. And this time she raped him. Demi Lovato wants to come out as a hoe. And that is all I have to say about her. I don't care if she came as non-binary. I don't pay attention to Demi Lovato. I think she's weird. I've always thought she was weird. You know, she one moment she's bald, next moment she got hair, next minute she's thick, next minute she's black. I'm over Demi Lovato. Do you care anything about Demi coming out as non-binary? We've always knew
No,
she liked girls anyway, because her and Miley Cyrus told the whole world that they slept together when they were younger. So Demi
let me
just come out as a hoe.
let me say this. I don't care for the non-binary stuff because, like I said before, I went to school, I graduated, and I didn't spend and I didn't spend all them years in school to call one single person they. I don't care who you think you are. You know what I'm saying? But the only compliment I got for her is that she looks really good for a meth head. She
Yeah,
looks really, really
she
good for
got
a
that
meth.
thickness though. I ain't gonna lie now.
I ain't never seen a healthy looking meth head, and this is one. She
And
is
she
crazy.
definitely is a bad
You
too.
know, Heaven, I really do have a thing against women who embraces the victim mentality and they make it their lives. It's like, girl, I don't know what she been through. I don't really listen to her music. I
Right,
have never really listened to her. I don't even know who this woman is other than the fact that she keeps being shown as a victim. There's more to life than being a victim. There's more than life to not being who you truly are. Even if you said she should come out as being a whore. I know you were just joking, but it's okay if you like girls. It's okay if you like men. Come out as who you are. All these extra words and stuff
right,
like that. I don't have time for it. I feel like America, we're
right,
sitting here, we're making coddling grown adults the new thing, and I refuse to be that because if you give them this, then they'll want something else. If you give them that, it'll become a cycle. I think America, we was good on he and she, boy and girl,
right, right,
and it just needs to stay that way. I find it to be, I don't, listen, I'm not trying to start nothing, but I find it to be kind of odd. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That you want to be called they. You're one person. Are you admitting that you have multiple personalities?
right.
Like, what really is, I don't get it. I'm not even old school. I'm pro life. I truly,
Oh
but
man.
I don't get it. I'm sorry, it's too new, and I just find it another agenda. It just got forced on everybody in 2022, in 2021. I'm
Right.
tripping. 2021, this shit has been forced on us. Like, let it go. Like, let people
Yeah,
call.
totally,
If you don't want me
totally
to,
agree. We
I'll just call you by your name. Soon, people are going to be like, I don't like my name. I think
and
God made
I
mistake with
yeah, I don't
this.
recognize myself as my name, so could you call me this, please? You know,
Your
and they're
whole
gonna.
you
It's crazy.
like what do you, okay, I don't like that I keep being called a, a regular person. Call me a millionaire. Even though I ain't got $1 million, I need you to
Right.
call me a millionaire so I can feel
I,
better about myself. Like,
right.
come
I
on.
recognize. I totally agree. We're gonna move on from Debbie because we don't want to get in trouble. But I totally agree with you. And just really quickly before we move on, I face that now. A lot of times I go back my comments if I'm saying, listen, when I'm talking about women, I say female. That's what I've been saying my whole entire life. Male when I'm talking about men, female when I'm talking about women. And I look now, my comments are like, "Oh, could you stop referring to them as females?"
You know, Heaven,
What?
I never seen that until I got in high school. I never even heard of that being an issue. And then I went on Twitter one time and I said female. They said I could already tell what type of woman you are. You still use the word female, huh? Am I not a female? And am I not a woman? Am I not a girl? I think this is where all that bull BS started with that female stuff. Like, like
Yep. Oh man, let's move on. This is crazy.
yes,
Um,
let's move all the way on.
let's
Not even
let's
talk
move
about
on to another female.
like
So we had also the Nicki Minaj genitals vax Twitter scandal, and that was something else that took place in 2021. It seems so far, removed from it now, and thank God because Nicki took a lot of heat for that. And what had happened was it was right around the time for I believe it was the MTV Awards and the Met Gala. And someone, messaged Nicki Minaj on social media and she responded back. So someone messaged her and says, and you can probably see it on the screen. I told them that may be why. I noticed that Nikki seems to be scared. Okay, so she goes, "Love you, babe. I was prepping for the VMAs. Then I shot a video, and guess who got COVID? Do you know what it is not to be able to kiss or hold your tiny baby for over a week? I totally forgot that Nikki caught COVID. A baby who is only used to his mama. Get vaccinated. Drake had just told me he got COVID with the vaccine, though. So, child. And then there was something about um she ran into something and she told us some a story about her cousin. And this triggered people in Trinidad. It triggered people on social media. She said, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable in your decision and not bullied." Now, I saw that response, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think much of it because when she's responding here, she's not saying she never once said don't get the vaccine. But then it got spit to she's anti-vaccine. She said my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. And she explained what happened. She also says, so just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision and not bullied into it. And this thing turned into a whole big thing. People started coming at her like Don Lemon, and all of these different right wingers, and then all of a sudden, all the conservatives all of a sudden start, Nicki Minaj old record streams started going up. You could tell they weren't genuine because like her old record streams started going up like Starships and, and super bass. So conservatives started taking her side. Oh, this is what we're talking about, the vaccine, whatever. And it was a big scandal. What do you think of that? And it came at the wrong time because Nikki is still in the middle of another case involving her husband, and Jennifer Huff. So, what did you think when that happened? Do you think Nikki deserved the backlash that she got and criticism?
I think the backlash that she got for this just highlights the bigger issue, and that's that so much misinformation is going around, and not from Nicki Minaj, because, like you said, she didn't tell anyone not to get vaccinated. She just told people be careful and learn about it. She admitted that she didn't know too much about the vaccine, and she also said that
Right.
she was willing to learn. That's where a lot of the that's where the screenshot is missing. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right.
I feel like I blame social media for this. I blame
Once
Twitter.
again.
I blame Facebook. I blame IG because, I posted a video on IG and a doctor was just explaining, hey, if you remain healthy, you take your vitamins, you take care of your body, you can fight COVID. You
Yep.
don't technically need a vaccine to do so.
Right.
I know people who go to the hospital. I go to the hospital and I get tests ran on my blood. They tell me my iron levels. They tell me my zinc levels. They tell me my fat levels, sugar levels, everything, my pH balances, and they tell me just about everything. And this is a real thing. If you keep your zinc levels up, you keep your iron levels up, you're taking care of your body, you're taking your vitamins, you can present you can prevent yourself from having extreme
You could
reactions.
do the same thing as if you took a vaccine. It could have the same
Now,
effect.
I do want to warn people: the vaccine is there just to be that extra layer of protection. It does not
Right.
stop you from getting COVID. It does not stop you from spreading COVID.
Right.
Okay, even the flu shot didn't stop you from getting the flu, nor did it
Nope.
stop you from being contagious. What it did is it higher your chance of not dying from the flu. I don't know if anybody ever got sick before. Like you got sick, you caught the flu, and you went to CVS, you got medicine, and you're taking everything you possibly can, and you're not getting better. These things happen in the normal people, not just with COVID. So when you get the
Right.
flu shot, when you get the vaccine and stuff like that, you could higher your chances of just surviving. That's the point of it. It's not to prevent you from getting COVID. It's not to prevent you from spreading it. It's just to help you fight it. Now, there's a lot of people who didn't get the flu shot and never died from the flu. True. There's a lot of people who never took the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, and there are a lot of people who will never die from COVID vaccine. I mean, from COVID. This is true. So if you don't want to get the vaccine, you're not stupid. You're not an idiot. You're human. If you want to get the
Right.
vaccine, you're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not washed. You're not brainwashed. You're human. You just want to protect yourself. So do what's best for you. And to answer Heaven's question, I think Nikki, she's coming off being blackballed. It was a failure. She still got a lot of people who don't like her. So anything that she says
Right.
gonna be a story that just comes with who she is. She wasn't wrong in neither one of these tweets, so I'm not gonna act like she was.
Yeah, I totally agree. Again, I just want Nikki, and it seems like since then, I do have to add, since that issue, she has not talked about the vaccines. She has not informed her fans whether she has gotten vaccinated or not. Um, she had said way back then that she did plan on doing it. She just wanted to do more research. So, she's kept quiet about it. I guess she learned her lesson that, and realized that no matter what she says, you know, somebody's going to be, and that somebody's going to have something to say. And that just comes with being the queen of rap, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just the whole thing about COVID. The topic is just you would. I don't know if you followed my other page before it got deleted, but I was putting a lot of facts out there about the COVID vaccine, about COVID in general, and just to feedback that I
that's
was
probably
getting.
why your page
A
got
lot of
deleted.
it. Yeah, I got a lot of it, and you know what I'm saying? And it will make somebody never want to talk about it again. But I'm Alexis. I'm gonna talk about whatever the F I want to talk about. I don't care if
Right.
you like it or not. I'm gonna talk about it and I'm gonna keep talking about it. It's just something about seeing people angry about my opinion that really makes me happy, Heaven. It brings joy to my life. I get so happy. I just be sitting on my phone. Sometimes I troll people. People think I'm dead
Right.
ass. I'm sitting there really laughing, and it's a real thing.
I tell you, I think that's just a part of being a goat because I do it too, and even though I feel as though sometimes like I shouldn't do it, like a lot of people really think that I be serious, and they just like I have a lot of Nicki Minaj fans that come to me and say, "Oh, you hate the barbs," you said, and I'm like, what y'all don't understand is most of the 90% of the time, I'm doing it because I want to see you upset because you've caused me so many issues over the last couple of years. I do stuff and say things a lot of times that I know is going to get the boss upset because I know they let things like that get to them. That other fan bases. And to let the bars feel better, I used to do the same thing to the Beehive back in the day. I would just come on and be like, just out of nowhere, Beyonce can't sing. Rihanna can out sing Beyonce. Say something so retarded that they know is not true, but they get so upset, and I used to enjoy it.
Now, what I would do is I would have my opinion. I wouldn't troll people or fan bases. That I'm not doing that, but I will have my opinion, right? And somebody would come at me and whatnot, and I would just troll them. Like, first of all, that ugly gorilla looking, if you don't leave me alone, like I'll just keep going back and forth. Even if you're not fat, I'm just gonna keep like leave me alone. I have my opinion, you have yours. Make your own comment. Leave me alone though. Social
Right.
media makes too many things cool. Like, no, boo boo, that would never be cool.
Let's go on. Oh, another big story in 2021 was DaBaby, and we have to take it back to you know the freedom of speech. And my old saying is, yes, it is the home of the free. No, I say it's the home of the free, land of the brave, freedom of speech, except if you're talking about gays or Beyonce. So the baby made what they called homophobic remarks at the Rolling Loud Festival in Miami. Um, his quote was, "If you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexual transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 or 3 weeks, put your cell phone light in the air." The baby said on stage, "Ladies, if your pee smells like water, put a cell phone light in there. Fellas, if you ain't sucking D in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air." And the music community, the got on him. Of course, LGBTQURSTVWXYZ got on him. Um, GLAD and Black AIDS Institution, you know, tried to invite him to meetings. Miley Cyrus tried to get him in a meeting with Elton John. It was just a whole bunch and since then, the baby has not been the same. He's not because now I know you're not a big baby the baby fan. I
Mm-hmm.
know you're not a big the baby fan, but
Mm-hmm.
I know you're going to speak on this objectively. Did the baby get what he deserved?
Yep.
Objectively.
Yep. Yep.
You have to wait. Put away your baby bias. We've already addressed the fact, and no, we're gonna
Ain't no
premise this on the
biasness. This
fact
man
that
got
you
on that
don't like
stage.
the baby.
Listen, listen. Heaven, I like you. So this is just an example. But say you irritated the heck out of me, and I
Okay.
just let you slide, and I let you slide, and I let you slide. And then it's that one final thing you said that probably wasn't as bad as the other things you said, but it was still bad. I'm gonna let
Right.
you have it because I'm irritated at this point, and you just a irritating person to me. You feel what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
exactly what happened with DaBaby. People let him slide with so many situations that as soon as he got on the stage where other people were able to see just who he wasn't able
Hmm.
to slide no more. And now people deem him for who he is. You are a problematic dude that says off the wall stuff, who does off the wall stuff. You're a good father, but you're a trash person, and that's just what it is. So if you ask me that again, I'm gonna say, "Yep,
So he got what he deserved.
yep."
And this is what okay. Initially, if I'm just judging for, and I gotta kind of agree with you, only based on the fact of if he could have stopped at if you didn't, I mean, ladies, if your pee smells like water,
Mm-hmm.
put a cell phone in the air, right? I would have either said, I would have either let him live with, if you didn't show up here today with any sexual transmitted diseases, you didn't have to add in the die in 2 or 3 weeks. You didn't have to add, if you want to just say, if
Not
you don't,
even that.
right? Because
Because
people, because
if
people do
somebody
do
in
that.
the crowd got herpes, so what? They here to support you. All you had to say was, "Ladies, if you smell like water,"
Water.
everybody would have lit, even though they lying. Your shit don't smell like water. Not being in that sweaty, hot crowd, you lying. Just shut up. But like I'm saying though, like that's all he had to say. Or he could just be normal. I just left a G Herbo concert. All he kept saying is, "Put your phone up, put your lights up. We try to take a picture. Y'all put your lights up." You ain't gotta say all
Right.
that extra stuff. So he shot himself in the foot. I don't feel bad. He looked like Michael Blackson, left thumb. I don't like him.
G Herbo's your favorite rapper. If G Herbo says that, you got the same energy?
He ain't gonna ever say no shit like that. So I ain't
See?
really gonna answer that question.
So the baby, you get no sympathy
No
from Coda.
sympathy, no tears. Just how you didn't give Danny Lee any sympathy when she was feeding your baby, I give you none.
Oh my goodness. And then of course we have the split, the finally the split, not yet divorce, but the split of Kimye, which is was Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. So after 9 years, they decided to call it quits. At first it was Kim's filing, then Kanye wanted to come out and let people know, oh no, I just allowed her to file to make her feel better about it, so to keep her dignity. It was actually me who wanted to file for the divorce. And then, Kanye went on this rant about how no, oh, no, that's actually before the whole year was filled with Kim and Kanye drama, so I'm not really surprised that this happened. Um, Kanye early in the year said he's been trying to divorce Kim for 10 years. At the time, they hadn't even been married 10 years, so I don't know how that's possible. But he's been trying to divorce Kim, and he basically said Kim and Chris were white supremacists. And now that they split, Kanye is doing the most, as Kanye does, to try to get Kim back or whatever. Was you surprised at the split with Kim and Kanye? Because I didn't think that Kanye would ever let Kim go. Well, he's showing now that he won't, but I really didn't. To be honest, I didn't see that coming until after the Kanye rants and called her and her mother white supremacist and basically said she tried to cheat with Meek Mills, and then Meek came out and adamantly denied it. But I was shocked that after they made it through that, I said, "Oh, okay, I guess you're going to stay with dude." What was your take on um the split, and now what's going on now with Kanye with the antics?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. If you listen to Kanye's music, then you'll know that he married the girl that he's told himself not to marry. He didn't
Right,
want a Hollywood chick. He didn't want somebody who was obsessed with surgeries and stuff like that. He rapped about it. So I was
right,
kind of shocked that he even married her to begin with. I understand dating somebody you have a crush on, but marrying somebody, having kids with somebody,
Right.
Kanye West on Watch the Throne warned himself of this situation. He said this would
Hmm.
happen. He was speaking to his kids just in case it did happen. He had
Right.
he had a song with Jay-Z where they both spoke to. Jay-Z said, if me and Beyonce were to ever leave, Daddy messed up, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? They rapped about
Right.
all of this. So I was shocked when he married her. But um am I shocked that they're divorcing? People, when you're going off, which is why you shouldn't go off when you're trying to prove a point, because if you
Right.
say something else, people are going to hold on to that than the point that you're making. And
Right.
in those tweets, I think the main point that he was making is that you guys are trying to control my family. You're trying to exploit my daughter. You will have to kill
Right.
me before I let that happen. And he, even to me, he alluded to the fact that because he wasn't allowing them to do that, that they wanted to pay him as crazy,
Right.
try to 5150 him, so he wouldn't even have control in general. And I kind of feel him on that. Like, no, I know what I'm talking about. You're not going to exploit my daughter. She's not going to be wearing these clothes in no magazines. And that's just what it is.
Right.
So I feel like with Kanye, he's coming to a realization in his life that of the things that he really do want and not the things that he liked in the past. And even with Kim, he said, I don't want my wife dressed in a certain way. And people made it a point where, you didn't have a problem when you met her, but what about growth? She has four
Hmm.
children, Kanye West. I think it's fair that he would say something like that, especially if he's trying to move to a different level in his life. His wife shouldn't be on a magazine nude, popping
Right.
any bottle. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Kanye, he took a lot of heat even being with her. And that's what you get when you marry somebody. But for the longest, he had Ray J trolling him. He had security
Hmm.
guards trolling him. And it's like he took a lot of heat being with with Kim Kardashian as well. And now that it seems like it's over, now her family is sending 10, 15 articles to TMZ daily to further demental his name, but it's not working because the black community, even though we think Kanye is crazy, we still love Kanye. You're not going to ruin him. You're not going to get him canceled. We don't care. We love him. He's crazy. He's been crazy. He's been cursing out paparazzis.
Right.
He's been going off on people. He's been being about fair. He was not accepted an award because he felt like somebody else deserved it. So it wasn't odd that he went on that stage and said, "You know what? Beyonce deserved it. It's not you."
Right.
He didn't do that because he was crazy. He did it because he really do believe in the art. So before people talk about Kanye and you really think that he's at fault in this marriage, really know who Kanye is and really see what he's talking about. You have to read in between the lines when you're reading anything that Kanye typed, because I also think a he has he fails at getting his point across. He doesn't know how to do so. So that would be his
Right.
downfall as well. But yeah, that's my opinion on the whole situation. I think if they really are going to divorce, I think it's a good thing for Kanye. And we might just get our best rapper back. You feel what I'm saying? He might just go back to making
Right.
good music.
Now, the thing is this, and a lot of people did feel the way that you felt, but and now they are. That's why a lot of them are perplexed. They're like, listen, you said you wanted out of the marriage. You finally got rid of her, and everyone is celebrating. And they're like, "What are you doing? Why does it seem as though he wants to he wants to get the Kim? He came and said he wanted his family back. He wanted his wife back. He did some things that a husband shouldn't do. He said some things that a husband shouldn't say. So now that she is willing to divorce, to go through a divorce, why do you think Kanye doesn't want the marriage then?
Because like I told you, I've always felt like it was PR. You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning,
Hmm.
like what you just said, he said, well, I should have never said this, I should have never said that. She gave him a lot of heat for wearing that MAGA hat. A lot of people gave him heat, but his wife gave him heat when she was in an Aura office with Donald Trump, her damn self. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? She was sitting down. So she was portraying that she was against Trump, but she was sitting down with Meek Mill behind Kanye's back. So I kind of feel him on all of this stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I kind of feel him, but I feel like it's all PR to begin with. Because he said, "Well, I'm sorry for
Mm.
saying this," and then she later came out and said, "Well, I'm sorry that he supported that I wasn't with him when he did this and that. People should have the freedom to do whatever." So, do you guys mean to tell me that you guys just need counseling?
Right.
Because this shouldn't be going on the internet, but the fact that it is, and these two could be private about it, that's just let me know that I feel like it's PR. And around March is when the show is supposed to drop. Then these two are going to be back on good terms. Their divorce is going to go away, and they're going to be working on their family, and they're going to be happy. Kumbaya. You mark
Mm.
my words.
Okay. Well, we're definitely gonna keep our eye on that and see. And 2021, to me, was I thought it was the women as far as music goes. I feel as though women took over. Um, it was all about the women in 2021, whether it was pop, whether it was rap, or what have you. And that brings me to the subject of Doja Cat, who is now she's the biggest streamed artist of 2021. Um, and a lot of people before 2021 they were talking about Doja Cat. You know, Doja Cat's been around longer than people realize, and she really emerged in 2020, 2021 to the fact where now next year she is up for 8 Grammys, I believe it is, and everybody's talking about Doja Cat being the next. You know, she's been compared, to being the next Beyonce, being the next Madonna, being the next Nicki Minaj. Like they're getting all these comparisons. What is your feeling on Doja Cat? You know, the artist and what we see because she really stepped up in 2021. And how big do you think Doja Cat can be?
I like Doja Cat. She's very talented to me. She could dance, she can sing, she has a personality, she can dress, she has style. I love Doja. I think she's going to be even more big in 2022.
So you think that she's gonna be bigger than she was
Yes.
in 2021? Um,
Yes.
I could definitely see that because what people don't realize is as big as Planet Her was, it never went to number one. So if she has one number one record, and that was with Nicki Minaj, the Say So a remix with Nicki Minaj. She had Planet Her never made it to number one. And if you remember back, Planet Her, and this is why I tell people it's not about what you do the first week. It's about how stable you keep your record. Because she only sold 108,000 in the first week, right? So that's
Right.
only a little bit over. That's only 8,000 more than Megan Thee Stallion, who they said flopped. So Megan did 100,000 stream, and Doja Cat did 108. So they said, "Oh, Doja Cat, such a great, so great." But they said, "Well, Megan flopped. She only sold 100." But remember, Doja Cat only did 108. I said,
Right.
I don't pay attention to people. Oh yeah, but such and such pure sales. I don't pay attention to that anymore because it really doesn't count anymore. Like no one, Billboard but they don't care about pure sales anymore. The streaming is now the way of the future. It's all about how much you stream now, right? So I don't care about how much pure sales this person had more than this one. It's all about the combined package now. And with her not even having a number one album and her only doing 108,000 first week, for her to have this sort of momentum going into 2022, I think she can be, even bigger. She came on late this year. Now, I think her competition will be less in 2022 as well because remember, she had to deal with Taylor Swift re-releasing her music and still pretty much selling like it was new music. Taylor Swift's fan base is just they're just beasts. She had to deal with Adele coming back. She had to deal with the emergence of Olivia Rodrigo. So she had Dua Lipa was still was dominating in 2021. So Doja Cat had a lot of competition this year because people still, and me included, still have not really gravitated to calling her a rapper because I just don't consider her a rapper. I just consider her a pop singer who can rap. Like I call her the a rich man's Fergie because that's what I think she is. Um Fergie did the same thing. Fergie could sing, Fergie could rap a little bit. You know what I mean? So I consider her as a rich man's Fergie and a pop singer. But 2022 she might even be able to have a better year than 2021 as long as she comes out with music. I think at the top of the year. So I agree with you. I do think she's talented. But people get on me online all the time. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to change my mind. I don't consider her a rapper. When she makes a rap album that is 100% rap, if she can go through a rap album and just singing on the hooks or what have you, you know, then I'll consider her a rapper. But I don't consider her a rapper. I consider her a pop singer. I consider her a Fergie because if you consider her a rapper, you got to consider Fergie a rapper. And unfortunately, the last thing we're going to tackle was the violence in rap in 2021. Um, More rappers turning up dead. You know, Young Dolph passed away. Not to violence, but DMX passed away. Biz Markie passed away. Black Rob passed away. But a lot of the I don't want to term anybody as smaller tier rappers, but a lot of the non A list rappers passed away due to gun violence. And it just boggles my mind the amount of crimes that are taking place with people who have record deals. And I've been on record and saying in the past, and then you can chime in with you. I think I think it's deeper to it than just street violence. I believe the record labels have something to do with it. I've always believed that. I believe that these young artists that are signed to 360 deals, I believe that they give them this money, they give them this upfront money, and then to recoup their money fast, they remember they don't they their masters, some of them own their masters. I think to recoup this money back, they have these artists killed, and then their streams always go up. Look at Juice World. Look at Triple X. These rappers' streams go up, after death. So, what is your take on the amount of violence when it comes to rappers?
Uh, I don't know. I told you I don't really believe in that because I just feel like if that's true, would have been like an FBI investigation and whatnot.
Hmm.
Things like that could be investigated, but
Right.
I do find the violence just to be about jealousy.
Mm.
Simple as that, jealous. People are jealous of these people. Young Dolph died in a way he shouldn't have. Lil Durk's little brother died in a way he shouldn't have. Even though he didn't die last year or this year, but Duck died the way he did. He didn't deserve it.
Right.
It's just a lot of people out here who's dying. They don't. Nipsey Hussle. It's jealous,
Mm.
and I feel like
Jealousy.
within a black community, especially amongst our men, um, anger is a real thing. And if you don't know how to control your anger, if you don't have anger management, then yeah, you're one of the people who's going to make these 3-second decisions that's going to affect your life for the rest of your life and other people's lives for the rest of their life. And also, when you have nothing to live for, you are the most dangerous person on the streets because you'll make decisions based off the fact that you have nothing to lose. And that's
Mm,
what a lot of Nipsey Hussle was killed by a bum. That man is a
right.
bum. Young Dolph, those two guys who ran up on him, bums.
Yep.
I'm sure whoever killed D Thing, a bum. And it's just, I'm a little Dirk fan. I listen to his music, and in the beginning, I love his music. I love listening to what he had to rap about, but I just came to a realization not too long ago. And these guys, they're too far gone. They think violence is the answer. They think revenge is the answer, and they don't understand that what you're doing, you're creating a cycle. So those kids that lived in the neighborhood that you lived in when you grew up, it just took somebody being a man to you to tell you this is not the way to go.
Right.
It takes one person, and I feel like these young men, they don't have that. And until they come down, until they let that pride go, it'll never change because it takes letting the pride go. It takes saying, the street rules, these codes are stupid, and it's what's holding us back.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, I disagree in the fact of that I do believe that there is more to it. But what you said is absolutely, positively. I do agree with that. Yeah, I think it is a lot of jealousy, and it just takes me back, man, to what Tupac said when Tupac was alive, and that was he always made it clear: do not be, do not let people shame you into staying in the hood. Do not feel bad about leaving the hood. He said because ultimately that's what's going to be your downfall. That's going to be your demise. He said because it's going to be, and if you look at it, Nipsey Hussle got killed in his own neighborhood. I remember going back a few years ago, Chinks, a rapper from New York, got killed in his own neighbor, like in his own area. I mean, so Tupac was right when he said, you know, dudes are jealous. They're looking at you, and you would think that you give back to the community. You're from the community. You'll be proud of saying, hey, if he can do it, that means I can do it. But that not everybody has that mentality, and that's why when you get the money, once you get on and you can't really say that because King Von moved from O Block to try to avoid that, and he got killed in Atlanta. See, I
He
mean,
got
so
killed in Atlanta for doing
yeah,
something stupid. Now, Keaton Vaughn, he wasn't. Listen, we gonna have to say this for next podcast because I will break this all the way down. People are gonna be like, "Oh, we missed."
okay, all right.
So
Lex is
we gonna
up
have to
on the
wait.
rap scene.
You gonna have to wait, because we already reached over that hour anyway. Y'all,
Right.
this was a good podcast because I sure wanted to keep this one going.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to see them in 2022. It is the Go Talk podcast. We tackled the biggest stories. We didn't get to everything, but for the main part, we got to the biggest stories of 2021. Looking forward to a 2022. The Go Talk podcast will be back the top of 2022. Go to Lexus as always. Thank you again. And
Thank
I want to
you.
I want to thank everyone for listening to the Go Talk podcast. Go back and check out the first 7 episodes. And I wish everyone a safe and happy new year and kick ass in 2022, man.
Let's go. Have a good one. Have him.
Have a great one. You guys, see you later. Thanks for tuning in.